Hi everyone, welcome back to another cut above with Chris. Going for my face shave today. I was going to do a head shave as well, but I'm running just a little touch late, so just a nice easygoing face shave using Barrister Mann Seville, carrying on from my pretty much going through each soap manufacturer, each artisan in the den. So I don't have a whole heap of artisans anymore. I've sort of settled on ones that I really enjoy, Barrister Mann obviously being one of them. Now Seville is a barbershop scent, or a take on a barbershop scent. It's a bit like a fougere, whatever you make it is your own barbershop. Now this one, very similar to sort of Barbar from Noble Auto. It's got a little bit of spice behind it. This one's a little bit more citrusy, and it does have that powdery note. Much stronger scent strength from this than from Barbar, Noble Auto. And this one and Noble Auto don't smell anything like Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Cad or Fine American Blend. But these for me are better scent. Now I have 9 Barrister Mann soaps in the den at the moment. This one's probably my least favourite, believe it or not, even though it's probably one of Barrister Mann's biggest sellers, and they are doing this at the moment. I think it's on Reddit in the reserve base. I don't know whether you can still order it, but I know you could at some point. But yeah, really nice scent. So I'm going to be using my custom Tony Forsyth or TF custom shaving brush. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what this cast is called again. All I know is it's absolutely stunning, and I can't bloody remember. I keep looking at it. Phantom Nebula. There we go, got it. And it is commissioned for the channel. Another cut above with Chris, and it's got Tony Forsyth custom brushes under there. Beautiful knot. It's got a 26mm tuxedo style knot. It is not a tuxedo knot. It is not, in my opinion, as soft as a tuxedo knot, but it's still very, very soft. It's got no scritch or scratch or anything, just loads. It's actually got probably a similar amount of backbone, maybe a little bit more backbone than a regular tuxedo knot from AP Shave Co. But like I say, most of these knots are made in China and Asia anyway, so doesn't matter who you get them from. Generally they're pretty close, pretty same. It could even be the same manufacturer, just with slightly different hairs. I do find the Black Wolf knots from Wolf Whiskers and the original tuxedo knots to be softer than, say, like Maggard. I have a Maggard 26mm Maggard knot in my Cadman brush, and it's not as soft as a tuxedo knot. It's not even close to how soft a tuxedo knot is, but they're still very, very good knots, and they are soft enough that they don't actually irritate your skin or scratch your skin or anything like that. So I'm actually heading into Perth today. I've got an overtime shift for the West Coast Eagles game, so I'll be working at Perth. So I'm really looking forward to this shift. I haven't worked in Perth at all yet since I actually came out of the squad, out of training. Right, I think that's loaded heaps. I do tend to load heavier than most people. I would say the only guys that really load heavier than me is probably the Stallion, who I no longer watch, and the guys that are on the Facebook Live and 5 group, Jared Stein, Abraham Valea, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, and there's a few other guys on there that load really, really heavy, like super heavy, way heavier than I do. But look, this is a really nice scent. I don't know whether, in all honesty, whether it'll stay in the den. I keep picking it up from time to time, and I smell it and I like it, but I never remove it from the drawer and actually use it. I tend to go for other Barrister Mann scents. I like the earthy, dark, rich scents. This one's a little bit more sort of lighter. Now the base on this soap is the Glissant base, which is Barrister Mann's sort of staple base, has been for the last couple of years, I believe, the last year or two. And they also have the reserve base at the moment, which for me personally is a slightly better base, but slightly harder to work with. If you overload your brush with reserve, you're in for a world of hurt in terms of adding enough water into it. It needs water, loads of it. The Glissant base, which this one is, isn't quite so bad on the water content, but it still needs quite a lot. But as you'll soon see, normally between 5 and 7 dips for Barrister Mann. So that's dip number 3. 4, 1.5. And here we go. Nope. Yeah, so like I say, I don't find it anywhere near as thirsty as a reserve base, but it still needs a good bit of water. Now I've got enough water in this now, I believe, to actually complete the lather without going back for another dip. It's still growing really nice. The brush has got a lovely scrub, but it's not scritchy or scratchy at all. It's just not quite as soft tipped as the original tuxedo knots from AP Shave Co. The funny thing being is it's a very good chance that they're actually from the same company. Jesus, bloody lather everywhere. So the brush is caked, as you can see. So is my face. Not much taste to this one. For you guys out there that like a good taste to your soaps, not much taste to it. Right, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 shaves on the Gillette Super Stainless. So this is shave number 18. I've got 2 days growth today. I didn't shave yesterday, I had a day off work. And I thought, stuff it, I'll give a 2-day growth shave the following day, obviously today. And let's just see how this performs on its 18th shave with 2 days growth. So the Karve razor, which I didn't actually mention there in case this is the first video you've ever watched, is a full brass razor. It's a 3-piece razor made in Canada by Karve Shaving Company, and this one in particular is called the Christopher Bradley razor, and it was named after the artisan or the engineer that built the razor, and also a gentleman by the name of Brad Melling. So Christopher, or Chris, is the gentleman that makes the razors, and Brad Melling was the gentleman that actually asked him if he would make the razors and turned his hand. So it was named after Chris and Brad, or Christopher Bradley. It was designed basically to and fro between those two gentlemen over the course of sort of 17 months. Loads of slickness from Barrister and Mann, as usual. Just going to wipe my brush down a bit because I've got a little bit of soap running down the sides. So yeah, the Christopher Bradley razor for me is the best razor on the market today. Just for me personally. However, I have recommended this razor highly, extremely highly. Quite a lot of the viewers, a lot of the subscribers on this channel have gone on those recommendations on my excitement with this razor and purchased one. And to this date I haven't actually spoken to anyone who didn't enjoy it. Right, second pass. Now, is it shaving as nice as it did on the first sort of 10 to 15 shaves of this blade? It's not, but it's still shaving really smooth. It feels like a sort of like a brand new Voskhod, if I'm honest. In fact, I would say it feels better than a brand new Voskhod at the 18th shave. I haven't had a weeper or a cut from this razor blade, or this razor, in probably my last 10 shaves. Now, no doubt I'll probably just jinx myself. Although I think actually that's probably a bit of a fib. I think I've had the odd little one here and there on the side of my lips, but that's nothing major. So, performance from Barrister and Mann. I've used 3 glissant bases in a row. They are all exceptional products. They all offer amazing performance, but more so they offer scents that a lot of artisans out there don't really come close to, in my opinion. The good scent strength, but the actual complexity of the scent and the way they're blended is absolutely superb. And that includes Seville. I mean, my favourite scented soap on earth at the moment. I mean, it used to be things like Great Licious and stuff, but it's actually Fougere Gothique from Barrister Man, which is a really dark, earthy, cologne-y Fougere. I can't describe it, it's just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So what I find with this blade now, even though it's on the 17 use, with the grain for the first pass, whether I'll get a day's growth or 2 days growth, it's not rough, it's just not as smooth and sharp as it normally is. It's just taking that little bit more to get through the hair. When I go across the grain, it's effortless. That's just super close, super comfortable. for those of you out there that don't know, I follow Portugal in the World Cup and the European Championships. I have done for a long time, since Scotland last qualified, which was 1998. So 20 years since Scotland qualified for a major tournament. So I started following Portugal back then. Mainly because of Luis Figo, who for me, at that time, was probably the best crosser of a football in the world. I thought he was even better than David Beckham, so that's how much I thought about Luis Figo, except he had a lot of skill and pace and power to go with it. Couldn't hit a free kick like Beckham, although he did score an absolute rasper against England. I think it was in the Euro 2000, I think it was. Rinse the soap out. So, actually, do you know what? I'll pop this on while I'm waiting. I'm going to go with some Thayer's Peach Witch Hazel. Just a little splash of that. Now, like I said before, I keep saying it every day now, Thayer's Peach and pretty much all the Humphreys Witch Hazels give me a really nice burn, normally. After I'm finished a shave with the Karve razor, however, I get literally no burn at all. I get a very, very minimal burn, suggesting that I haven't really irritated my skin too much. And as you can see, it's a really close shave. I mean, I've got the odd little red bits here and there, but that's just my skin, unfortunately. I wish I could get rid of them. I wish I could have beautiful, clear skin like a lot of the blokes out there, but it just ain't happening. Barrister, Mann, Seville, Glissant formula, the tubs, the labelling, the packaging is just all super better than pretty much everyone on the market for me. That is the soap itself, and there is the ingredients, if you want to have a read. The brush was the custom TF custom shaving brush. Phantom Nebula is the colour scheme, and 9 times out of 10 this camera doesn't quite pick it up, but I think it does more so that I'm on 1080p 60 frames per second now. And you can see on the bottom there. 26mm, beautiful brush, very comfortable handle. This was basically designed by Tony Forsyth. I just told him to go for it and make his own shape, and he absolutely nailed it in my opinion. It's very comfortable to use, it's a lovely shape to look at as well. The razor is the Karve razor from the Christopher Bradley razor from Karve Shaving Company. Now, I love this razor. It's precision milled. The only slight tiny downside I find with artisan ones, if they don't do it, is the overhang. So you can see just on the top here, there's quite a bit of overhang on these Karve razors, and that's it. That's the only downside I can see to it. I can't find anything else on this razor. It is impeccably built. It is incredibly tight tolerances. The threading is smoother than anything I've used. It holds together beautifully. What I find as well, when you actually thread it up, once it's off, it's obviously 3-piece. When you put this on, once it gets to that last little bit and it's actually touching the brass on the top, it's got a lovely little extra bit of turn. It feels like it really bites in and pulls the brass cap down. Just beautiful, it really is. I can't wait for it to patina. It is slowly going there, but obviously I dry my razors, clean them and dry them after every shave. So it takes a lot longer for things to patina rather than leaving them just covered in water and soap scum and things like that. So it will take a lot longer for mine to patina, but I'm hoping I get a nice, even, natural looking patina on it. And finished off today with Thayer's Peach Witch Hazel, which is great stuff. Post shave now, I feel very, very close shave, very, very comfortable shave. 18 shaves on the blade for a 30+ year old blade. I mean, it's almost 40 years really. So it's only got a few years to go until it hits 40. So pretty impressive. It would have been amazing to try this out sort of 30, 40 years ago and see how far it would have lasted back then when the blade was brand new, because I think most steel things do degrade over time, but these just seem exceptional blades. First one down and it's still kicking after 18 shaves. So you guys stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the next shave. Cheers.